life practice community.
All right, cool. So let's start our yoga practice today in a seated position. And you could come onto a pillow, you could come onto a block. Really just anything that works for you. Allow your arms to be just heavy. Palms can be facing down to anchor you to the earth and anchor you to this moment. Or if you're feeling a bit lethargic like me, a bit tired, you might flip your palms face up for an intention of openness. And then just take some deep breaths in and out, filling your lungs. Filling your chest with air. So in our Yin Yoga practice, we're going to hold postures for a long duration of time. Like maybe between 3 to 5 minutes. And the goal of this is to really get into the tissues. Just release what is being stuck. And though there might be some discomfort in this process, at the end of the day, it's a process of learning how to sit with and be okay with and breathe through that discomfort. So let's just take one more round of breath seated. And if you have any other intention or any other purpose for your practice, just identify it now. And then we're going to start in our first shape by just dropping the right earlobe down towards the right shoulder. And this is my favorite neck stretch of all time. And then if you want, you might take your right palm and anchor it on the side of your skull. And I'm going to flip our timer. I have these sand timers now, if you haven't yet seen them. I took them from my classroom. I really only ever use the 10-minute timer at school. Telling kids to stop talking for 10 minutes. I never really use the 2 or 3 minute timers, so I decided to borrow them. Use them for this purpose instead. If you want, you might extend your left arm and just kind of flip your wrist and Find the angle that works for you. My cat finds this sand timer very interesting. Now, what is coming up for you as you take this shape? What sensations are you feeling? Is there discomfort? Is there stickiness? Is there places of tension? And can you just breathe into them? Can you just be with them, knowing that this pose is going to pass? This pose is going to pass. Just a few more breaths. And then just lift your head all the way back up through center. And then just feel the difference of the left side compared to the right. Is there space that you have created? Is there something that was stuck that has now been released and relieved? And then we'll go the other way. So drop your left earlobe down towards your left shoulder. You can take your left palm up, rest it on your skull. And just notice, is there any difference from the right side compared to the left? I know that sometimes my left side feels totally different from the right side. Maybe I've slept on it funny. Maybe there's been some kind of injury. Notice what is happening for you today, what's going on with you and your body. I often say in my classes that this is one of the top 2 tension hotspots. We carry our stress here. So if you're feeling emotional in this pose, know that it's normal. It's completely normal. Just a few more rounds of breath. You got it. Maybe 5 more. And then just release your left arm and lift your head all the way up. And then let's do a few little circles stretching out through the neck. And then the next pose that we're going to come into is kind of going to be multi-purpose. I hate to move the cat. Yeah. She's going to lay down on me. Going to move her. So we're going to stretch the soles of the feet while we also stretch through the shoulders. So you're going to come to sit with your toes tucked, and then sit your bottom back on your heels. And if this is too much at any point for your body, feel free to untuck the toes. You can always be just sitting on a block if it's too much. And if you're okay sitting with the toes tucked and the heels on the toes, we're going to open our arms, and we're also going to take our eagle arms at the same time. So we're going to cross the right arm under, and then either grip opposite shoulders or weave the forearms together and high five them. And once again, I'm going to flip our timer. So my arms are actually feeling quite sore from so many bar classes, and we did arms yesterday in power. So if you're also feeling that soreness, you're not alone. If you're starting to be uncomfortable, what tools can you use to sit with this discomfort, to be present with this discomfort, to be accepting of this discomfort? This will pass. This will pass. Just 5 more breaths. Nice. And then after the 5th breath, let's unwind. Nice. Come all the way up, untuck the toes. And then how would it feel to just pedal them out? If any other movements would suit this moment, feel free to take them. And then we're going to move into eagle arms on the opposite side. And then I'm going to give you an option if you want to do it again with the toes tucked. If you're feeling in the mood for it, feel free. I kind of just want to come back into normal. I'm over it. So it's up to you. You can just be sitting normal or with the toes tucked. And you're going to sweep the opposite arm under. So I believe it's going to be the left arm under this time. And I'll flip our timer so I can be mindful of our 3 minutes. Almost over, about a minute more. Just keep being present with it and keep breathing your body. Give it 5 more breaths. And then slowly unwind. Oh, stretching it out. Nice job, nice perseverance. And then just come into any kind of counter pose that would suit you. I kind of am craving a child's pose. But you might just come into seated or take some cat cows or stretch it out. It's really up to you. Discovering what you need from this moment. And then just giving yourself that. Staying for one more round of breath. And then just roll your way up to seated. So the next pose that we're going to take, there's going to be a few options. I'm just turning so that you can see my back. We're going to take the right arm up, and you can decide how you're seated, by the way. You can still be on the heels, or you can come into a crisscross. Take your right palm and place it on the back of your shoulder. And then option 1, you can keep your left palm on the elbow and just go like this, doing this stretch. Option 2, you might weave the arm around and back and see if you can grip your palms together. And if you can't quite connect, this is also where a strap could be handy. You could have the strap between your palms and just kind of walk your hands together down your back. So a few different options. This is not traditionally a yin pose. It's a bit more yang, it's a bit more intense, but we are doing our shoulders today. And the beauty in binds is we come into this restriction, and then when we release them, we find freedom. So I think any pose, when done with softness and gentleness and with intention, we can make it into a yin type of pose. I realized I forgot to flip the sand timer. Let's stay for one more minute. We'll just do 2 minutes of this pose on either side. And then can you just release the arms? And then maybe do some shoulder rolls, stretch it out. And then we'll come the opposite way. So taking your left arm up, placing your left palm on your right shoulder, and then maybe just staying here with the right arm on the elbow, pulling it back, and then potentially sweeping the arm around and gripping the fingers. Knowing that we'll just be here for 2 minutes on this side. Just give it 10 more breaths. And then we're gonna release the grip. Just lower the hands. If there's any last, or not last, but little movements you wanna make, feel free. Slowly make your way onto your belly. We're gonna take one more stretch before we come into our Shavasana. So for this pose, you're gonna extend your left arm long on the mat and then push into your right palm to just lift up. So you're like compressing through the shoulder blade and your right hip might lift up. And then it might be nice to reach your right arm back and just see how that feels. Or if it's too much, you can leave your right palm where it was. Just take a couple more breaths. And then just slowly come into neutral. And just give yourself a moment between sides, maybe pressing both forearms down, resting the skull, getting really heavy and really soft. And then we're going to move into and stretch the opposite side. I'm just going to rotate around so I don't have to move my cat, but you guys can stay exactly as you are. And then just extend your right arm flat on the mat. Push through the left palm to lift up. Just invite in this little compression through your shoulder. Lean into it for a few more breaths. And then just slowly unwind. Maybe coming onto your navel for a moment and just resetting.
before making your way onto your back.
Or really taking any other rest pose that would be suitable for you. Allowing yourself to really settle let go of whatever weight you are carrying. Let it release. Dropping into stillness and dropping into present moment, present awareness. You were never more perfect than you are now. This moment right now, it's all that there is. And you could not be more perfect. You could not be more you. Accept this moment and embrace this moment. Trust that you are loved. Trust that there is no one else like you. Trust that you are never alone. And let the love radiate around you like tidal waves. Let it wash the world around you in its magnificent glow. Breathe in all the love that the universe has to offer you. And then just let it go. Let it go. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Please bring only joy and peace and everything that is love. Please bring only joy and peace and everything that is love. Please bring positivity into my life every day. Give your body a nice little wake up wiggle. Running a big long stretch, fingers all the way through toes. And then just curl your knees into your chest, give your body a big hug. Reminding yourself that you are doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is enough. That's plenty. And then just come all the way up to seated. Place your palms at your heart center. Closing with the intention that we remain committed to this practice and that it serves and it benefits not just ourselves, but all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe and be happy and be healthy and be free, and may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So let's finish with an Om. We're going to inhale and exhale, and inhale through to make the Om. Okay, big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Thank you so much for sharing the space and the practice. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining.